Hi everybody, Greg with Advantage Insurance, a family-owned and operated independent insurance agency in central Pennsylvania. Today we're going to talk about homeowners insurance, specifically 3 common exclusions that you find on homeowners policies. It may not be the case in every situation, so make sure you're checking with your agent specifically about your policy. But these are 3 exclusions that are normally found on a homeowner's policy. If you don't know that you have this exclusion and you're concerned about this type of coverage, you definitely want to talk to your agent. So the first one is going to be earthquake. Most earth movements in relation to coverage for your home are going to be excluded. Now, if you imagine you live in a state like California, you're probably already aware of this, and you already have coverage for earthquake specific to your area. But if you live in California, you know that's not cheap. In other areas of the country where earthquakes aren't quite as common, it's not so expensive. The coverage is a little bit different in that you're normally subject to a different deductible than what you find on your home policy. Typically, it's a percentage of the loss. So if you're in any way concerned about earthquakes, even here in central Pennsylvania, we do get a few here and there. You may want to talk to your agent about it. It's relatively inexpensive in most areas of the country. The second is going to be sinkhole coverage. In Pennsylvania, we don't have earthquakes, but we have an awful lot of sinkholes. Where we built this house, actually, it's on a whole plate of limestone. And when we were digging the foundation for this home, we actually found a sinkhole. So you better believe that I have sinkhole coverage endorsed onto my homeowner's policy. In areas like Pennsylvania, especially central Pennsylvania, that coverage can be a little expensive because it's more common in these areas. Just note, even if you do pay for the homeowner's endorsement adding sinkhole coverage, if you have a sinkhole in your yard and it's not impacting structures, you may not find coverage for trying to fill that sinkhole. So just be aware of that. So that's number 2. Number 3 is going to be flood coverage. If you're in a floodplain, you're probably already aware the bank requires that you get flood coverage for your home. And normally, if you're in a floodplain, those policies are going to be separate policies, normally through the government, because most private carriers don't want to touch them, and they are extremely expensive. If you're in other areas, like we are not near a floodplain where we build our house, if we wanted to get flood coverage, and I'm talking surface water runoff, not water seeping through our basement walls, we're talking surface water runoff. If you want to get that coverage, you can get coverage through government programs. Some private companies will offer policies, and they're not overly expensive. They have decent coverage amounts for a few $100s a year, maybe $500 a year. So you can get coverage for flood events. There are actually some carriers right now that are adding endorsements onto existing homeowners policies for surface water runoff. So check with your agent and see if the carrier that you have is one of those carriers, okay? It's a good way to bundle your homeowners policy with surface water runoff and not have to worry about a separate policy. Just note, with development, especially here in central Pennsylvania, areas that didn't have issues before, you used to live next to a field, and all of that rain would come down in that field and the field would soak up that water. We're seeing more flood events, surface water runoff, that are impacting homes that never had that issue before. So now that field next to you has a paved road and a bunch of houses, water's running down that road and into some of our clients' homes. So it may be something worth visiting. There's another common exclusion. I'm going to make a separate video on that specific to it, and it's sewer and drain backup coverage. That's a whole other topic, and I could talk probably 10 minutes on that. I'm not going to include it in this video. So again, if you have any comments or questions, feel free to make them down below here. Appreciate you watching this video, and we'll see you next time. Thanks.